Hi, Dr. Shapiro here. Pacifiers are one of those things that are incredibly helpful until suddenly they're not. So a common scenario I encounter in the office goes something like this. Mom or dad say, my child is almost a year old. We sleep train them. They sleep great, but only with a pacifier. I know we're supposed to get rid of it. I really don't know what to do because I do not want to mess with good sleep. And honestly, when parents say that to me, I usually smile and say, yeah, we're in a bit of a bind. So let's talk about how to handle getting rid of a pacifier. Early on, pacifiers are great. They help babies self-soothe. They reduce the risk of SIDS, sudden infant death syndrome, in the first year, and they make sleep easier for everybody. That's why, in general, we often encourage pacifier use in infancy. At some point, though, we start thinking about stopping. The American Academy of Pediatrics, the AAP, generally suggests thinking about weaning between 6 and 12 months of age, and ideally before age 2. And there's actually a reason for that. As kids get older, pacifiers can start to affect teeth by causing dental issues like cavities, changes in tooth alignment, and they're associated with increased ear infections. They can become a habit that's much harder to break. And typically by around a year of life, the pacifier usually isn't helping babies learn new sleep skills anymore. Often it becomes something they need replaced over and over during the night, and it starts to become more trouble than it's worth. So here are a few simple approaches that tend to work. Which one you choose really depends on your child and your family. So one option is what I call pacifier scaling back. So instead of taking it away completely, you make the rules very predictable. The pacifier lives in one place only, usually the crib. So not the car, not the couch, not the grocery store, maybe sometimes during the pediatric well visits. But otherwise, just the crib. What happens is the pacifier slowly stops being an all-day emotional crutch and turns into a very specific sleep tool. For a lot of kids, that alone cuts usage way down without a fight. Another approach I actually learned from a patient is changing the pacifier itself. So some families switch to a different brand or shape. Maybe it's like a different shape or slightly flatter. Just one that child tolerates but doesn't really love. And you're not tricking them, you're just removing the exact feel they're attached to. Often, interest fades on its own after a couple of weeks. Here's another thing that works. So just limit the pacifier to the start of the sleep only. So you tell yourself the pacifier helps them fall asleep, and that's it. Once they're asleep, you don't replace it. Parents are shocked how often kids don't actually wake up for it. And when they do, they often settle without it faster than expected. Another strategy for older kids or kids older than age 1 is pairing it with a comfort object. For example, like a small blanket, small stuffed animal. And the way that works is, for the first few nights, the pacifier and the comfort object always go together. The same hand placement, same routine, same timing. Then, when the pacifier disappears later, the comfort doesn't. Because your child already knows what to reach for, and that familiarity does most of the work. But the most important thing is this: there's more than one way to do this kindly. It may take some trial and error, and if you're stuck, talk through it with one of us. Sometimes just one small tweak makes all the difference. So I hope this helps, and let us know if you have any questions. Thanks. Hi, Dr. Shapiro here.